Stevens kicking off United Matamata Sports here in the 2020 Waikato Premier B Rugby Final, playing for the Rowe Cup today here at Bedford Park in Matamata. No Brendan McCullum, no Timaiti Martin either. Of course, Brendan McCullum playing in the Caribbean Premier League at the moment, undefeated with his team. Good evening to you, Brendan, if you are tuning in. As Ben Brownlee blows time on, and it's a low one down to Otorohanga outside the 22, and it's a good return here from Josh Osborne. Just a metre outside the 10 metre line, as now there's a box kick coming through from Liam Fox, taken here by Cora Moanga. And 9 metres inside their own half at the moment is Katehu, and Otorohanga win a penalty. Just not releasing is the call from Ben Brownlee. And Fox is a good touch finder now. Probably is outside the 22. Just to settle things down. So no wind to speak of at the moment. Should be good throwing conditions. I'm sure both hookers will be looking to make sure that ball isn't muddy or wet. So Brooke Maikuku with the throw. Throw to the front, but United Matamata Sports has got it. Then tapped back, still inside their own 22 at the moment. And being brought down to ground now. 15 metres out from their own line, comes back to Ferguson, and he kicks it into touch. And we start play probably another couple of metres in Matamata's favour there. To where we were 2 seconds ago. The first line out from Otorohanga was pretty wobbly. United Matamata managed to tap back, and this one's not that great, but it's going to end up on Otorohanga's side, but they've knocked it on. So first couple of lineouts from Otorohanga have gone a bit wobbly and not in their favour. One with United Matamata Sports stealing it, and this time they've knocked it on as well. So it's the first scrum of the match, 5 metres outside the 22. A bit of a push there from Otorohanga. Ben Brownlee doesn't like it. Start again. Thank you to the person that's just let me know that that the clock wasn't up. Now I've put it up there. I think it might have been the same person that told me about the score last week. Good scrum here from Otorohanga, but Matamata got it. Daniel Pearce off the back, up towards the halfway line, still going. 6 metres inside Otorohanga's half. First time here for United Matamata Sports. They're making some good ground. They're going to go left still. Hey boy! It was a good break. Still going strong. 7 metres out from Otorohanga try line. Come right now through Logan Wood. United Matamata Sports looking quite hot on attack now. Through Ferguson. Now for McNaughton. Oh, good wakey do on him. Otorohanga in there hunting. Matamata Sports have got it back. Here's Lovelock. Has to clean up off the back of the ruck. Gone backwards a bit here at the moment. This is Matamata Sports. And it's going to be Jeffrey Hill. Ben Brownlee looks at Nico Fox. Nico Fox says yes, it's a try. And Jeffrey Hill has scored early for Matamata. Well, that's something Otorohanga are going to have to be very careful of. It was a couple of good breaks from the middle of the ruck from United Matamata Sports that's led to that try. And even though Otorohanga just had their chance about a minute or two ago inside United Matamata Sports 22, it is UMS that are on front, they're on the board first. So this kick just from inside the 22 from Brad Stevens, 18 metres in from touch. Conditions still pretty good out there. Comes in, strikes it. It is over. 7-0. United Matamata Sports are leading. John, let me throw you out.
Yeah. Unless they've switched jerseys and no one's told us.
Now the kick down, expected there for Matamata. And it's a view on the left hand side for small numbers. Now there's a chip here from Logan Wood and then cleaned up by Otorohanga on the 10 metre line. Some appealing going on from Liam Fox, but Ben Brownlee says play on. Now there's a carry there from Jason Sione. They go right again through Ross Fenton. He puts up a good kick. There's some cover there, back there from Matamata. And now Brad Stevens returns another one. A bit of force back. Otorohanga says we're going to run this through Jesse Williams. Good tackle on him, just short of the halfway line. Otorohanga still in their own territory. Ted Taro was a good carry. For Otorohanga on the halfway line. And there's a penalty advantage coming. Slogan Wood that's been caught offside. Now James Hamato with a carry off the back. Pick and go. Inside Matamata's half. Here for Te Kapa Crown. Being shuffled along the backs. Now, Otorohanga looking for a little gap there, but can't get it. Now there's a penalty advantage. Penalty blown. It's in from the side. Ben Brownlee saying there. A couple of times where Otorohanga have looked pretty keen on attack there. They've just given away some silly mistakes. Time for Matamata to gain some territory. There'll be a line out, leader inside Otorohanga's half. My name's Bevin Jenkinson. Great to have you wherever you are tuning into this live stream of the 2020 Bucko Rugby Premier B Rowe Cup final. And there's been one there from Matamata from Logan Wood. And now Daniel Pearce on a bit of a break, tackled on the 10 metre line. And there's a penalty advantage coming. And I was locked it on the tackle. And Brownlee says, Otorohanga, you're leaving your feet, so we'll come back for the penalty. One of the weird sounds coming, if you live in the city, it's the fire siren that's sounding off. Not many times in your life you've probably heard a fire siren go, is it, John?
When you're at Commentator, New Year's goes off all the time.
Oh yeah, well yeah, New Year's is different. Being from Pyro and currently living in Ngatea, you know, you do hear it pretty well. So the line out here from Matamata, a couple of metres inside the 22. It's a bit of scrappy, but they've won it. Oh, they've actually knocked it on as well. Now it's there for Jason Sione, but he's knocked it on as well. And Ben Brownlee says we'll play the first advantage. Scrum Otorohanga ball. No, Brendan McCullum is not playing. He's currently over in the Caribbean, playing in the Caribbean Premier League in cricket. His other passion, I suppose you could say. And Te Māori Maitan also not playing for Otorohanga, the former Kiwis player as well. That's been playing for Otorohanga Premier Bs this season. There's a couple of restarts that we've had at scrum time. I'm sure as a referee we'll just get in there early and make sure that things are settling down. Fox will feed the scrum, a couple of metres outside their own 22 at the moment. Let us know wherever you're tuning in from, who you're supporting. So the scrum goes down as well. A little bit spongy underfoot, so probably reset scrums are going to happen. And there's a penalty. Dropping the bind is the call from Ben Brownlee. So Otorohanga, they've been penalised. They've got a chance to clear their 22 now. Some kick here from Fox as Grant Cottrell puts his flag up. 5 metres still inside Otorohanga's half. So both lineouts currently been a bit wobbly. No one's quite taken one clean at the moment. Then I'll take you. My cuckoo, sorry. Let's try to get this one right. Yes, he can. It's Keeks with the take. Now things done out through the back from Otorohanga. Really gone anywhere, just sideways, still middle of the field though. Keeks with it. There's a penalty advantage. I think Matamata have been pinged for offside here. We'll soon see because Otorohanga still have the ball. We'll go left. There for Austin. Coming up for Fenton. And for Williams. Just inside Matamata's half now. Good tackle on Justin Sione there. And there's going to be another advantage. Matamata's discipline getting away from them at the moment. But Otorohanga still have playing under the advantage. Break here for Te Kapa Crown. And he's knocked it on in the pass. Something will come back. It's good to have you wherever you are tuning in, even if you are in lockdown currently. I know there's been plenty of support from over the ditch from people in the state of Victoria and also, of course, Auckland as well. But currently there's no rugby happening. Hopefully that'll restart next week under level 2. Good kick here from Fox. Finds the 22. United Matamata Sports. It's the second time that Otorohanga have had a chance here. And my cuckoo. Looking to get down towards the back. Keeks comes into the middle. They've won another one. There's Otorohanga. There for Sione. Metres inside the 22 now. Comes there for Fenton. Looking for some options, decides to run it himself. Matamata making their tackles count at the moment. For Crown. Crown finding a red shirt though. Now it's been hunted back downfield. McNeil going back, tidying it up. Some good chase here from Matamata. But Otorohanga will have the ball. Fox says we'll play it back down over the shoulders. Well taken there from Moranga. He brings it back on a good run. Nice tackle on him though. Leader inside the Otoronga's half. There for Hill. And he's knocked it on in the tackle. So some loose carrying here at the moment from United Matamata Sports. Just having a look at my little replay that I have. Probably the pass wasn't that great either, actually. Yeah, nothing like watching rugby being played in swamp-like conditions, Carlos. Never been to Otorohanga. We'll get there at some point. Otorohanga won the scrum though. Therefore, took up a crown. And he's knocked it on. Now therefore, Moranga. Matamata 9 metres inside their own half. Otorohanga trying to get in there to seal it, and it'll be a penalty. Hands in the ruck. It was definitely formed and bound. So hands out, as we were all taught from a young age. Cuttrell having to come back a few metres than he thought he would have to. Line out now, 14 metres inside Otorohanga's half. Can Matamata win one? Yes, they can. Spun out through the backs now. Some small numbers in there as well, though. And penalty. Ruck formed again. 2 penalties in a row now. Otorohanga have been pinged. Hands in the ruck. And shot called. Some discipline, ill discipline creeping in from both sides here, Joel.
Yeah, well, it looks like Matamata Sports are using their ball a little bit more than Otorohanga, but yeah, it's a bit slippery out there. I'd hate to be running out there.
It's quite nice and dry in the grandstand here, isn't it?
One of those games where sometimes the wingers won't see the ball for much of the game.
Well, on that point, I have actually been surprised that all 4 wingers have been in hunting for the ball, had a couple of runs as well. I'm not surprised to see how many kicks over the top have come in, but the box kicks from Liam Fox probably haven't been on point. So Stevens now 37 metres out, directly in front. Just over 18 minutes gone, first half of the 2020 Waikato Rugby Premier B Rowe Cup final. And the penalty is looking pretty good. No, it's away to the right. And there's some confusion there from Otorohanga. Karavata had taken it outside the goal line, then looked to carry it back and put it down, but of course that would have ended in a Matamata 5 metre scrum. Some great communication from his teammates there to tell him don't do that. There's some weird things can happen on a rugby pitch, can't there? Otorohanga making a break outside the 22. Comes there for Te Kapa Crown on a bit of a break. Left hand side, gets a great pass out to Ryan McNeil, is caught in a wacky do. Otorohanga made all the way up to the Matamata's 10 metre line. Nice little hands there from Maikuku. Kodi Maikuku, that is. They go right through Crown once more. Moranga that was doing the tackling in there. Come left hand side through Siani. And left again now through Fenton. Numbers are going to probably be a bit hard to tell in the second half. That amount of mud that's being on their shirts. Now it's a run from Ferguson. It's not Ferguson. There's a penalty advantage coming for Otorohanga. And they'll cut and Ben Brownlee comes back to the penalty and not supporting the own body weight is the call. Ruck time. Fox decides we'll go over the corner. By namesake Nico Fox putting the flag up 10 metres out from Matamata's line. Call for a new ball, I think. The ball as well as the jerseys are getting a bit muddy out here. Let's put my cuckoo. That's the throw. The first couple from both sides have been pretty messy. Been tidied up by now. Down to the back. And it's Keach's wins his third one of the match. It's into a maul. There's a penalty here. They can't do that. It's good. Tuhakarena that was being cleaned out there by Josh Austin. Very ill discipline there from Otorohanga, gives it away. Although this one might be still in play, yes it is. Well played there by Karavata. He's been harder now with it. Oh, look for all money to be going into touch there. Now it's Keach with it. Just short of the halfway line. Fox gives it away to the running backs there. Sides come left through Ted Tairoa. Now it's there for Cody Maikuku. Of course, being offside here, and Matamata has been pinged, going to be pinged once more, I think. So the advantage being played. Ben Brownlee says we'll settle this down, boys. Up too quick off the line, and there's been a few of those at the moment. Thanks, Ben, for pointing out that number one is Craig Mora. My team list we've got has him on the bench, so thank you for pointing that out. Thank you, Joel, for telling me number 11 is Teacup of Crown. Inside the 22 now for Matamata is Moronga. Just some support runners. Now there's a kick downfield. Chase is on as the ball has just stopped outside the 22. Ryan McNeil gets on it. And there's a big arm wrestle coming in to win this ball, and the penalty comes Matamata's way. Brad Stevens being pinged for not rolling away. They go quick. There for McIntyre. Now for Williams, the captain. 10 metres out from the line. Otorohanga might have won this though. Stolen it back. It's being held up by Matamata.
They can't get it out of here, it's going to be turnover.
It's still moving forward though as Otorohanga. And Matamata have turned this over. Been stripped. Tip over the top there from Daniel Pearce. And it's just been like troll bounce the ball as Fox kicks it downfield. Hasn't found touch. There for Stevens. Being flung left hand side to Moronga. There's a loose ball and it's just bouncing all over the place, and United Matamata Sports have knocked it on. A bit of helter-skelter rugby and coming in there. So a scrum a couple of metres outside Otorohanga's 22, and one thing I was taught as a young kid, never let an oval ball bounce because it can do funny things. Thankfully though for Otorohanga there, didn't cost them. Wasn't a bad option from Daniel Pearce to do that. Yes, a bit of love, Joel, coming in for your poll. I think we agreed early on in the season there can't be a live stream without a poll in the way somewhere. Otorohanga won a good scrum though. And I'll have another just outside the 22 again. Yes, there was some discussion, Joel, before pre-game. It's probably the most important thing we talked about, wasn't it, where to set up because of this poll?
Yeah. We decided to go with it having in the middle of the field because if we took it on either end, then it would be blocking out one of the try scoring opportunities.
One of the corners, yeah. So we didn't want to do that to everyone. We did also ask Matamata to remove it, and they gave it their best effort. Scrum here from Otorohanga even. Scrums have been tidier than a few resets. Comes right there to Karavata. And up towards the 10 metre line. Still inside their own half. There for Totoa. Fox back to Fenton. Fenton decides to kick it down, but again, Moronga reads it quite well.
He's got some safe hands.
And Stevens goes with the up and under, the old Gary Owen. Ted Totoa, the prop underneath it with big hands, good hands. Been stripped by one of his own players. That might have been Jason Sione that did that. Now for Craig Mora. Still there for Fox, now Fenton with it. Out there to McNeil, then popped up all around the place. And Matamata in there hunting for it. Still back with Otorohanga. There for Williams. Good tackle on him. Good driving tackle taking him back. Now they're about 8 metres outside the 22. Fenton going right. Therefore, Ferguson, the lock playing on the wing, gets out of a couple of tackles. 15 metres out now. It's Otorohanga. And one off runner. Piggy is the call. Can you zoom in a bit? I can't see the numbers or anything. And they go once more through Sione. It's an advantage coming. Otorohanga. They're just going short. Now therefore Mora. And this tackle 4 metres short. Still going left through Totoa. There for Fox with some nice hands. Now McNeil. Out there to Kamara. Good ball and all tackle that was. Needed to be made. As Tukapa Crown was outside him. Otorohanga still have it, a little bit messy there. Now it's Sione. Otorohanga still probably under the advantage, I would say, for my Cuckoo. Here for Mora. Stripped off one of his own players again though. They'll come back to the penalty advantage. Oh, just under 10 minutes to go first half. Yeah, the tea's been brought out there pretty quick. Sound that isn't too uncommon in the cities these days, the old freight train going through. Yeah, shots called, so Liam Fox will have a chance to put Otorohanga on the board. For the first time. Oh, and Glenn sponsored lights, okay, thank you. Here at Bedford Park, Matamata. So a couple of metres to the left-hand uprights, 15 metres out. Shouldn't be too much of an issue from Fox. But if he misses this, I know who I'd be blaming. It'd be me for doing the commentator's cues. Conditions are still pretty good. Bedford kicker. 3 A's for the Premier A games. And yeah, no problems. I'm not to blame for missing that one. It's 7-3. 8.5 minutes to go, first half of the 2020 Premier B Rowe Cup final. Probably waiting for another ball again. Just a reminder, with the score, with the clock on screen, that is only a rough estimate. Always in the time is always in the hands of the referee Ben Brownlee, who it is today. Thank you to Simon Rayner, who's just informed me that Morrinsville Sports will be hosting the under 85 kgs final, winning 22-5 over Melville. It's great to also see Morrinsville Sports actually live streaming that through Lucas McIver today. Great to see other clubs doing that as well. Good take here from kick-off. 8 metres inside their own half is Otorohanga, being shuffled along. At the end, Fox goes with another box kick, and it's a great one this time. Well, each time he's done that, and it's gone inside the left-hand 22 for Matamata. It's been Porter Maranga that's been sitting there, but he wasn't that time. Fox found the touch. So line out 3 metres inside Matamata's 22. And it's been tapped back on Otorohanga's side as Fox does the tidying up. Matamata had stolen a couple out of Otorohanga's, so Otorohanga won't mind that they've got one back. And might just be pick and go here from Otorohanga. Went from before, managed to get the 3 points on the board. Penalty to go towards Matamata. Crabbing's the call, I think. He didn't think he was tackled, but looks as though he was. According to Ben Brownlee, he was. Now Brad Stevens will clear the line for Matamata. No, he doesn't. It's gone nowhere near the line. As Karavata has it. Tackles 5 metres inside the half. There for Sione. Fox doing a great job at the back of the ruck. Here now for McNeil, who puts the kick through. Tikaka Crown picks it up. Oh, he does quite well to stay in the field of play. It's been spun out a little bit. Everyone's falling over at the moment. Cleaned up by Keach. They'll go right again. Everyone's managing to stay up on their feet currently. And it's a penalty. Once more, Otorohanga hot on attack, and they'll give away another penalty. And at this time, it's not releasing in the tackle. There's a Matamata player down at the moment. So with just over 5 minutes to go, first half. 7-3 is the score. And it certainly showed that last passage of play, Joel, what happens when players are, when there's been a bit of rain underfoot. Water underfoot there.
So it's almost that case that they need some longer sprigs out there today. The old moulds.
The old moulds, yeah.
Don't do very well in these kind of conditions.
The old soccer boots, whichever way you want to call them.
So we're just waiting for some final results to come through as well, but other games being played today. Waiting for final scores, but at the moment Hamilton Boys High is leading Hamilton Marist 24-22 in the Colts game, one of the Colts semi-finals there, and it looks like it is 20 points to 10 tick over Hamilton Marist and the other under 85, so the winner of that game will play Morrinsville next week.
In Morrinsville as well,
yes.
So we haven't touched on too. Knock on.
Bit of a terrible kick, and the prop
I actually lost sight of the ball there. But I think it's the third one Matamata haven't put out and touch in a row.
It's always a classic call when you're playing a game of footy, and someone that always yells out "not out," even though it's about 20 metres out.
Yeah, there's always hope, isn't there?
So that one there was definitely not out.
Yeah, I was waiting for it to hit the top of the roof here in the grandstand, but didn't happen. So 15 metres and still inside their own half. Otorohanga have got a good scrum here. Matamata have won it. It's a good tackle. Ball and all from Otorohanga. Trying to walk over the top of it, but Matamata have won it. Still. One off runner. Not able to go anywhere at the moment. There's a couple of players wrestling on the ground.
Bit of mud wrestling out there.
Just introducing each other to the game. I would say there's another penalty advantage coming Matamata's way. Be for Hill. And go left. Now, but still not really going anywhere at the moment is Matamata, and they'll come back to the penalty advantage when Brownlee says it's an offside call. Kick it out is definitely the call coming from the grandstand here, from one of the Matamata supporters, but they've missed 3 in a row. For touch, I think you need to make sure this one does go into touch rather than be too worried about territory. This one is definitely in touch. It's kicked into touch about 15 metres quite safely. Well appreciated by the crowd here. Is this not a winter sport? There's Matamata have cleaned it up quite nicely. There's a break here from Otorohanga.
The opening try scorer.
Yeah. There now for Wood. Just inside the 22 at the moment is Matamata. Still one off runners. I think Matamata might have just taken some points out of Otorohanga's view, but Ben Brownlee says, so knock on back here, boys. Come back to it. It'll be Matamata's ball. So 2 minutes apparently. Someone's calling out from the field to go before half time in the 2020 Waikato Premier B final, playing for the Rowe Cup. My name's Bevin Jenkinson. It's great to have you wherever you are tuned into the live stream. Great to see also the numbers being pretty high today as well. Of course, limited crowd available to be here in attendance, so great to be able to bring it to you on Facebook. Bit of a show and go. Oh, and poor Maranga, that's knocked it on. It's come wide, and I know is this going to be an intentional knockdown. And no, it doesn't look as though Ben Brownlee will be looking at a yellow card option. It did look as though it was a reasonable chance to take it, but the player certainly hung his head as soon as he did it.
He quickly skulked back to the back of the defensive line.
And this one's down touch inside Matamata's half, got about 8 metres.
I got a full-time score here, a last-minute try to Hamilton Marist in the Colts game, sealing the game win over Hamilton Boys High School. So they'll be moving on to the final next week.
So Hamilton Marist playing in the Colts final after beating Hamilton Boys High at the full time by the sound of that. My cuckoo with it. One there by Mora. The back. Fox looking for some runners. Decides to go himself. Takes a tackler with him. Keeps playing halfback.
As you start to get a bit of drizzle now, so it's just going to...
Ryan, that might make the second half quite interesting. Tidal with it. There's a big drive coming through the middle from Matamata. Brownlee says unplayable. And we still will have time for the scrum.
Massive contrast considering that before the whole first lockdown that we went into, we were going to have the Premier Club Day out here at Matamata Sports to kick off the season.
5 games, wasn't it?
Yeah, 5 games are going to be held here on both fields. 3 games on this field here, with the final game would have been Fraser Tech taking on United Matamata Sports, but due to COVID restrictions, the game that was all postponed. And one of the main things that we were worried about during building up to those games was how dry the pitches were all around the Waikato.
I was going to say, we don't think we'd want the 3 games out here today.
We don't need the water truck coming on at half time to dump some more water, that's for sure.
No, and there's been a bit of a knock on both ways here. And Brownlee says half time. He does with a bit of a thought behind it. So half time here in the 2020 Waikato Premier B final, playing for the Rowe Cup. It is United Matamata Sports 7, Otorohanga 3. My name's Bevin Jenkinson, and we'll be back very soon for the second half. So welcome back to Bedford Park for the second half of the 2020 Waikato Premier B final. My name's Bevin. Jenkinson. 7-3 United Matamata Sports are leading. Just a reminder, next week Wharapama Cup kicks off. It will be first game. The University of Waikato women are playing the Northland Kāori at the University of Waikato as second half blows on, time on, and because we're under level 2 restrictions, so something will come out during the week about crowd availability. So that will be live streamed on the Waikato page as well through Bev's broadcasting. Otorohanga have won this through, and it's a free kick. Not sure what Te Tairo has been penalised there for, but tap and go is the call. Just a bit of muddy conditions, had a little bit of rain just before half time, but has been cleared up now. With Casey at Norton, Otorohanga trying to steal it. Lovelock though cleans up pretty tidy, telling his forwards to get off one-off runners. He finds one. There for Williams, and there's a penalty coming, and now it's been blown, and all the things are a little bit tense out here. And there's a final.
This is kind of the final that we were expecting last week.
Well, that's exactly what I was thinking, Joel. It was last week when it came to, well, some people call it biff, some people call it handbags. There was nothing which was good last week, but Craig Mora, yeah, that was his second time he's been involved in a little scuffle. And there's Matamata down the line, yes they have. That is a great touch finder, right on the 5 metre line. They'll be asking some questions of Otorohanga's defence now. So yes, next week the live stream will be at the University of Waikato for the Wharapama Cup first round. University of Waikato women playing Northland Kāori as Te Tairo cleans it up. Otorohanga one against the throw, and Fox, the box kick over the top, manages to find the line. As Cochran puts his flag up a couple of metres inside Otorohanga's 22 still. This is like there's been some substitutions. Raymond Tuakarena come onto the field. And Craig Moore has come off the field as well. And Matamata have won this one after losing the first one in the second half. Good zone throw. Now the ball goes to the ground. There for Tuakarena. They'll come left again through Filippo. Still on the 22 at the moment is Matamata. Looking for some options. Here for Raymond to Karena. And Te Tairo is holding up. Well, we saw it in the first half where Matamata did this to Otorohanga. And then Brownlee says, "You're not going anywhere, folks."
That's the experience of Te Tairo there, just able to get the player in an upright position. And here comes that 2 that we were talking about at half time.
Yeah, Brock Maikuku. Yeah, we do apologise, folks, if you're watching and know that the players are different to what we're calling. We're going by the team lists we were given last night.
Yeah, would that be
do appreciate
Thomas Snowden in the number 2? Maybe the jersey fits him better?
Yeah, move car if you're still listening, mate. Could you just confirm to us who number 2 is, please? Do appreciate when people come through and tell us about the changes. Can't always guarantee I will read them. but was able to read your earlier one there, Merv. So if you could just confirm with us, that would be great.
And a final result come through. Tech won 20 points to 17 over Hamilton Marist in the under 85. So that means Tech will be taking a trip to Morrinsville next week for that under 85s final for the Don Shergold under 85s trophy.
It was a good final last year, though, wasn't it, Joel? We covered that.
So, well, basically today they had a repeat of the final there in the semi-final, Melville and Morrinsville Sport.
Yeah, I don't think Melville have had. I think they've had a few injuries by the sound of it in the under 85s. So, because the last couple of years it has been Morrinsville and Melville that have been the two strongest teams. Anyway, getting back to this Premier B final, Otorohanga with a scrum on the 22. Looking pretty steady here from Otorohanga. And looks to clear the touch. And it's been taken back. It was just sitting outside the 22. And the pass went backwards.
Always hard in these kind of conditions because in the bog you kind of lose track of where the line
is.
Where
the line is. Yep. Bit of maintenance being given to the ball at the moment. Due to the mud and that. Especially in this area of the field, it is we're at its worst. Throw is good.
It's just sitting outside
Ben Brownlee.
Always hard in these kind of conditions.
Matamata looking to the line.
Oh, but Ted Darlow on the strip there.
So it's time to turn the ball over through Ted Darlow. And I'm going to clear the touch again. There's time off with some subs coming in.
So number 19 comes on for Otorohanga.
Sam Williams coming onto the field. I've just got to thank you to Dave for telling me that Riwata is on the field for UMS. Otorohanga tidying it up. Just outside the 22. They've had a couple of get out of jail free cards at the moment. Probably used another one up here. And a penalty for Otorohanga. I'm getting all sorts of information. And touch finder. A couple of metres inside, about 8 metres inside Matamata's half. Otorohanga's the throw now. I'll go down towards the back. One there by Keats. Can't find the pass off the top though. Being tied up pretty well there from Sione coming through. I think he was more trying to do the dummy run than take the loose ball, but he managed to find it. 12 metres inside Matamata's half at the moment. Now they go left again. And ball forward movement at the moment for Otorohanga. One off runner there through Cody Maikuku. And Tentano on a big run inside the 5 metres inside the 22. They go right. Penalty advantage coming. There's a head high shot that's coming there. Now it's Sione again. It's called for it to come out right where it does. Therefore, Jesse Williams. And then takes a couple to take him down. There's another scuffle going on in the background there. And there's an advantage for an offside as Liam Fox gets blindsided by a good tackle. They'll go left again, Otorohanga. And they'll come back for the penalty. The high. It's the offside call it is actually from Ben Brownlee. Ross Fenton discusses his options, and so we'll take the 3 right out in front, 15 metres from the posts. Should be an easy 3 for us here. As I said earlier, no one to speak of at the moment. Rain has gone away. It did come back at the start of the first half. The end of the first half, but it's certainly disappeared at the moment. Might have a dry game for the rest of the match. Yes, thanks to those people that have let me know about the clock being stopped. As I said though, it is only a rough estimate. It's definitely not the game time. Always in the hands of the referee for this. Fox comes in, slots it down the middle, no issue. We've got a 1-point ball game, 7-6 it is. United Matamata Sports in the lead. Joel, how long do you think this half's been for, mate? Because I stopped the clock.
Good question. What was the same there?
13. So exactly 13 minutes gone in the second half. There's a good run here back from Otorohanga. So Commentator. There'll be a touch finder here from Jenkinson. As the ball goes into touch.
So let's say what, roughly about 13-14 minutes gone?
8 metres inside, still inside Otoronga's half. Thanks, Joel, for pointing out. Yes, there is the school clock here. Matamata throw it, and it was straight down their own line. Took a while for the throw from Matamata to come in. It's crooked. Otorohanga will have a scrum 8 metres inside their own half. It's Bevin, Jenkinson, great to have you wherever you are tuning into the live stream of the 2020 Waikato Premier B final. Let us know who you're supporting, where you're watching from. Any comments? Don't forget next week Wharapama Cup action coming to you on the Waikato Rugby Facebook page against the Northland Coldie. It's a steady scrum here from Otorohanga. Won it. Fenton now feeding it through. Inside ball there to Hamada. Making a few more metres to his tally today. Fox goes left, back inside again. Otorohanga, going outside, then cutting it back in. Now 2 metres is still inside their own half. Fox says, let's settle this down. course, who's back there but Otorohanga. And finds Stevens. Stevens out of a tackle. Now I've got a couple of holding him up. Otorohanga look pretty keen on this at the moment. It's been held up. Collapse more of the Otorohanga's scrum. And some subs being called.
Alright, so we're going to have a hard time here. There's two players out there wearing number 21.
Thanks for that, Joel, because I'm looking and going, hang on a minute, I'm sure there's a 21 on there.
So we've got the dirty 21 and the nice clean white 21.
Does anybody know who the blonde number 21 is?
Yep.
Chris Crosdale. Thank you. Chris Crosdale's just come onto the field. Might have run out of the jersey number 22. I'd rather have won this. Fenton. Out there too. Commentator. He's stopped in the tackle but gives it away. It's a good break down the left hand side. Back inside there to McNeil. Caught in a tackle. 7 metres out from the line is Otorohanga. One-off runners they might go here at the moment is the drive part of the field. This is another Matamata player out quick. And still in there close. Then Brownlee says you're not using the advantage, so he'll come back. And there's a couple of players down as well. Ben Brownlee might just be having a talk as well, just say, guys, you're close to the try line. Discipline's got to be key here. And scrum's called. The scrum's been pretty tidy, but when it has moved, it's certainly been in Otoronga's favour. So Matamata have got to be careful here. Defence has been pretty good though from Matamata at the moment. Haven't let in a try yet. Even though Otorohanga have had a few breaks. And Te Kapa Crown out on the left by himself. Everyone else out right. Fenton, Williams, Hamada, McNeil, and then Karavata on the wings. On the right. All being fed into the scrum, and Otorohanga's scrum is pretty good at the moment. Trying to push it over. This is a penalty advantage coming up. Matamata drops are forced up. They go around blind and try it is! Otorohanga finally scored a try there. You got a number there, Joel, or someone that you might think of crashed over?
There's a lot of people cheering, and one of them's guy in the headgear, no. It's a hard one.
I think it might have been Keach actually. It got there in the end. Otorohanga won't argue too much, so 11-7 in front. Yeah, well, it was the second half last week in the Premier A final, WRU Shield. Otorohanga just clawed their way back from 20-7 down and ended up 28-20 in front at one point before, of course, Hautapu managed to take the win there last week. Premier B final, two different teams, team lineups, different ball game, especially in the mud here at the moment. Conversion just to the left-hand uprights, and it is successful. 13-7. Otorohanga lead for the first time in the match. With 18.5 minutes to go in the Premier B final. I've got a funny feeling this game's going to be won and lost in the forwards, especially with Matamata now playing towards where the muddy part of the field is. Lovely kick down there to Snowden. On the 10 metre line, as Fox decides to go up and under. There for Stevens. Shuffles it off to Otorohanga. We'll go left through. Oh, there's a really good tackle. Not quite sure you could see that on the live stream, but there's a spot tackle there, wacky do. And Otorohanga now have a line out 9 metres inside Matamata's half. Snowden looking to throw down to Keach, calling down the back of the line out. Comes down to the middle, takes it quite cleanly. And into the maul, and it's moving forward from here from Otorohanga. Matamata looking to sack it, can't successfully at the moment. It is still moving, we've got about 15 metres. There's Otorohanga. Do at the back for them. Inside the 22 now. Now there's an advantage. Something was going to give. And from the side has been Brownlee's call. And it was just a great maul from the line out from Otorohanga. Now we'll kick for touch. And find it 6 metres from Matamata's try line. It's got a little bit of a pitch invader that's just been taken off the field. Keach wins this again. And of course, Otorohanga going to go into maul. Matamata have done very well to push them back a little bit though. Now it goes to ground. Tackle is the call. Tairoa shuffles it along to Sione. Fox now, Fenton. Up to Ferguson. 5 metres short. Tairoa with it. Gets off one. They're still going left now. Ball has been left behind and knocked on. And Matamata got out of jail there a little bit. They'll have a scrum on their own 5 metre line. See subs are being rolled. Mike Lolo and Ruiti Vaimosa coming onto the field. United Matamata Sports. We saw last week how vital a good bench is. It's probably what Hautapu managed to get over the line there, Joel, in the end, wasn't it?
Yeah,
basically the bench.
They had a very strong bench coming off, that's for sure. A lot of experience in that side. But then, Otorohanga as well. You had that one point where Murray came onto the field and then
sparked everything.
That great try that Cortez Ratama was able to finish off to bring them within 5 points.
Oh, Otorohanga run a tight head. Yes, they have. First one of the match. It's the forwards that are doing the work for them at the moment. Can Matamata's defence hold? They go close, Ben Brownlee in there looking. And he says held up, 5 metre scrum. It sounds as though Otorohanga probably brought over the same supporters, the same sort of noise that was being shown the last couple of minutes. It's happening here as well. There's might just be a Matamata sports player down in the background. Just while we have that injury break as well, yes, so Wharapama Cup coming up next week, University of Waikato women's side playing Northern Kāori. That match will be live streamed to the Waikato rugby page. Following week we've got the double header at Waikato Stadium.
Yeah, FMG Stadium, Waikato to have Waikato men open up their My Team Cup against the Wellington men. That's going to be the second game of the double header, where we'll have the University of Waikato women's team taking on the
Taranaki Theo,
that's it.
So a couple of really good weeks there, and also Joel North Harbour the week after.
Yeah, and then back to FMG Stadium, Waikato the following weekend to see Waikato take on North Harbour, and then the boys are on the road for 2 weeks. They take on Tasman in week 3 and Southland down in Invercargill in week 4.
Of course, with the Wharapama Cup this year too, North and South pools. So basically, Taranaki up.
Well, technically the girls would have been into week 2. They would have started last weekend against North Harbour. They were supposed to open their season against North Harbour and Mahurangi just past North Harbour last weekend, but due to the level 2 restrictions, it got pushed back towards the end of the season. And same with the Auckland game, they were supposed to be playing
the curtain raiser for the North versus South.
And so again, another game that got pushed back to the end of the season.
Right, Otorohanga here have a scrum, and Matamata's scrum holding at the moment. As Fox says it, gives it off to Fenton, finding Hamada, trying to make a couple of metres and does so. 5 metres short of the try line now. Totoa with it. Ends up basically on top of Hamada. Fox gives it away and come back for a penalty advantage. Offside is the call. And I think here you've just got to take the 3. But, here comes the tee. I was looking for somebody on the sideline with it, and shot is called. Just to make it a 9-point ball game. 12 minutes to go in the 2020 Waikato Premier B Rowe Cup final. So Ross Fenton will be doing the kicking here. Just the left hand uprights. 15 metres out. Tiatara with his distinctive voice calling out. Putting on a big shift here today. Fenton right-footed kicker. Steps back, comes in, strikes it, and it's over. Successful. 16-7. Otorohanga lead. 90 seconds. 90 seconds. Matamata looking to strike back. So discipline that's been different lately. They'll go deep down towards the 22. Mora. And Fox kicks it down deep. The Fox kick. And now being returned there from Nick Norton
for the corner,
and he's just going to stop in that mud. And Neil kicks it back down field. And Stevens clicks it on the ground. Koromora is that one is pulled forward, yeah. Right in front of us there, Joel. It looked only a couple of metres in it. The pass there from Koromoranga.
Yeah, and he looked a bit indecisive whether or not he was going to run, pass it, or kick it. And,
I think even without the end result, probably would have been better to take it in.
Yeah.
And set it up, because Sam Brill was by himself basically on the wing. The nearest Matamata sports player about 10 metres away. So Otorohanga have scrum 6 metres inside Matamata's territory. Great to have you wherever you are tuned into the live stream. My name's Bevin Jenkinson. Great to see the amount of people watching this in the comments. Therefore, Koromoranga made a good tackle. Run off runner. There for Marley Crooks. Now for McNeil. There's a defence from Matamata making sure they count it now. Fox having to dig for it. There for Sione. Gives it off to my cuckoo. And there's an advantage here. One of the Matamata players has come in from the side. It's pretty clean.
Come on, sports, use your brains, come on!
It's Chris Keach, the Otorohanga captain, just decided to put the ball down.
Use some time up, take a shot at goal, just to give it another few more points.
Well, a few more points and a couple of more seconds to breathe. This one's the harder one of the 4 penalties shots that Otorohanga have had. A couple of metres to the right hand uprights, 5 metres outside the 22. Thanks, Sammy. When I said Ross Fenton earlier, I did wonder if it was Liam kicking. Comes in, Fox kicks it. It is pretty much down the middle. 19-7. 8 minutes to go. We've got a 12-point ball game. If you missed the first half, 7-3 Matamata led at half time. They opened up the scoring even with the try. Matamata at the moment have just fallen off the pace a little bit. Undefeated all season. And he's taken it from Otorohanga. Big Wacky do on Williams. Finds one runner. Now Fox now going to with his box kicks. It's Tuakarena back there, but picked up by Stevens. Nine metres inside Matamata's half. There's a penalty. And he's just not rolling away as case of McNaughton, the player being pinged. There's subs more being called here. Austin Lupton coming onto the field for Otorohanga. For Ryan McNeil coming off. Had a bit of a quiet game, Ryan McNeil at the back, but certainly he had a decent one. It's a brilliant touch finder from Otorohanga. Finds the touchline 5 metres out from the try line. just under 6 minutes to go. Try here might just be that nail. The home side certainly wouldn't want that to happen.
It's one of those cases where Matamata Sports is going to be needing a turnover, try and score quickly to.
Well, we almost saw Otorohanga pinch it from the Premier A final last week.
Yeah, that's correct.
This throw from Otorohanga is wobbly, and it's not straight. There's a call, so Matamata have got that turnover that they needed.
Now they're going to run it from their end.
Matamata bringing some changes. Well, I think Matamata's actually going to look to kick this into touch other territory because that three backs up flat, one man out of the pocket, couple of players on the right hand wing there though, so there's a couple of options for Ferguson. Woody feeds it. Actually goes short. Oh, there's a lucky pass to Maranga. Takes a break down the left hand side. He's got one to beat right outside him though. Takes it on himself. He's trying to go out there. Gets back to his feet to face the ball. Refit up. This is it. Pass to get out wide. They've got numbers of Matamata. Comes out with it. Gone loose. Just outside the 22 for Matamata. They're going to score that. They need to score now. With about 3.5 minutes left on the clock. They come left. Otorohanga has it on the 22 now. And there's a penalty. They'll take and go quick. It's Matamata. Number eludes me with the amount of mud on that guy's shirt. They'll go left now. Ramosa gives it off. And the ball's popped up on Otorohanga's side. And they'll play and knock on advantage. Well, talk about helter skelter here, Joel.
Yeah, wow. Like you said, it looked like they set up to kick, but then Wonga down the sideline.
Had a player inside him. And I think even though he was being marked, it probably would have been a better option just to pass it back inside.
Yeah.
But anyway, Matamata got up towards the 22. Just got away with one there.
Really got to
knock on.
Really got to get a try here. Converted try.
You'll bring it within 5, and then if you score again, it just comes down to the conversion, basically. Just over 2 minutes to go on our clock. Just a reminder that we're always at the time of Ben Brownlee, and all that's been knocked back from Otorohanga. From the back of the scrum, they go left. Now for Woody Reweta. Run off runner. 5 metres out from the try line. United Matamata Sports on attack. Goes right now through Jeffrey Hill. Short couple of metres. Now it's loose at the back. Over the line is he? No, he's not. Just short. And oh no, Reweti has knocked it on at the back of the rug, and I think he might have just injured himself as well. A twisted ankle. There are some dead bodies out there at the moment. Otorohanga Otoronga's scrum's been pretty steady here, but does Matamata Sports have one more good push in them to get a tie here? They already had one that went Otorohanga's way. Game of rugby's a funny thing. Anything can happen. Otorohanga have won this though. Out wide, and then they'll just boot it downfield. Goes behind Maranga. That's the ball's funny though. Now it's been kicked through from Otorohanga. He is just going to put it onto the boot. Well, Austin loved him. He puts it on the boot again. Its ball's just going all over the place. Maranga tidies it up though. And he's knocked it on. Well, what a funny thing a loose rugby ball can do there. And Austin Lupton did the right thing, just kept it on the foot. And the ball just did not go the way of Porter Maranga's way that time. He's had a pretty decent game. He's the number 11 from United Matamata Sports. And Otorohanga have a scrum 6 metres out from United Matamata Sports line. Scrum comes in now. As Otorohanga looking to push it over. Doesn't though. Fox, Fenton going himself. Now the Otorohanga again, and it's knocked back from them. It's just getting a little bit messy here. And good play coming through, but Ben Brownlee saying the ball was out. Otorohanga just one player running off at the moment. They trying to look for the 5 metre line, can't find it at the moment. Matamata have turned it over though. Go right hand side. Still inside their own 22 at the moment. And there's a penalty, offside's the call. As it just gets a bit messy again. And I think there's an Otorohanga player on the ground. As he gets up. So Matamata Sports decides to tap and go. Of course, if time is up, you can kick it out as long as you don't tap it first. They'll go left hand side. They've got a couple of numbers out here. Good grass tackle on Logan Wood. And another penalty into the ruck from Otorohanga. And they'll go right hand side on the halfway line now. There for Ferguson. Now for Woody Refitty. And he's knocked it on, but they're playing under advantage. So come back towards the halfway line again. And knock back 10 is the call. Trent Williams looking for some runners. Finds one. Jeffrey Holden's another carry. And it's all messy. Now Moronga. The left winger. There for Tua Karena. Oh, and he's just been passed straight to Otorohanga. And they're away through Kamara. This is Jesse Williams that's crashed over to finish the game. And it was just messy play from United Matamata Sports there.
I would say that's the one that we've been
12
tossing
or
up.
13?
No, it is the centre, but we say the one that was originally given us on the wing.
Oh, Kuravata. Okay. So it looks as though Kuravata's finished the game off there. A bit of a disappointing finish there for United Matamata Sports. They played well because they deserved to. Be in the final, being undefeated up until today. And the try kicks, I think is the rule here from Otorohanga. Thank you, Sammy. Just confirming this with us that was Solomoni Kuravata. Originally, we had him on the wing, according to the team lists we were given. So, yeah, that's the reason why there's been a bit of confusion between the player names and that there. As the conversion is successful down the middle. Ben Brownlee says it's successful and also says that it's full time here in the 2020 Waikato Rugby Premier B Rowe Cup final. It's been a pleasure. We'll stay with you for the presentations and celebrations as well on the live stream. Otorohanga have taken this one out for their third consecutive Rowe Cup, 26 over United Matamata.